The thoughts, views, and opinions expressed by the hosts are for entertainment purposes only and do not necessarily reflect those of RJV Media Lab, Inc., its affiliates, or sponsors. Listener discretion is advised.
Them boys ain't cutting up.
I say, ladies and gentlemen.
I say, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages.
Welcome to another episode of Cutting Up with your boys. I'm D, in the place to be.
Yeah, Roy, in the place ready for blast off.
And over there in the cut, we got that boy C-Mud.
That's right.
So how you doing over there, my boy?
Man, you know how it go. Staying out the way, trying to stay cool, blessed and highly favored.
Yes,
you know what I mean?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Had a little quick torrential downpour.
Yeah.
When we walked in here.
Well needed, though.
Yeah, you know. But that, I'm going to say that, but that's what keeping it hot. That humidity when you pay them little pop-up rains and this thing, you know you pissed, man. I'm talking about, boy, man, it's hotter than Jesus. Hotter than the sauna sack around here.
I'm just saying, like, would you rather it rain in the evening time and try to cool it down some so it won't be blazing that next morning? Or would you rather just go on a long southern Alabama drought where it ain't no damn rain and it's 98 degrees, but it's feeling like 108 degrees?
Yeah, I agree with you on that one. I'll take the rain over there.
I'm telling you, I take it.
So, hey, we'll deal with it how we take it, man.
That's right. What's been good with you?
Man, everything, man. You know, stay out the way, like you say, my boy. Been a lot going on. So I guess we get right on into it. Now, with the biggest thing that's been going on right now since we have crowned a NBA champion, again, big up to the OKC Thunder with that first championship.
Yeah.
We had a lot of movement in free agency.
Yeah.
So we're going to touch on a lot of these because it's been so much, so we'll kind of glaze over. We got a couple of them that just kind of came across the board.
Well, let's start from the top. You know what I'm saying?
So I'm going to go from the most recent. So we got one that just came through. Denver Nuggets trade Michael Porter Jr. and an unprotected 2032 pick to the Brooklyn Nets for Cam Johnson. Does it make a difference? I think it affects Denver more than thing. I do believe that got a little better because Cam Johnson is a scorer. Michael Porter Jr. A little inconsistent since the championship years. So, you know,
I don't see them getting better due to the fact that my thing is like Denver's biggest problem was they didn't have that bench that they had on them championship runs. And I think that's one of the reasons why Joker ran out of gas, because this was the first time where he really had to do everything.
Oh, no doubt.
You know.
So, had that move. Also, we have D'Angelo Russell, who's set to sign with the Mavs for a 2-year, $13 million deal. I do think that gives them a great amount of depth with what they already have. So, I definitely think that catapults Dallas into that top tier of NBA, let alone the West, the Wild Wild West. So, I definitely think that catapults them way higher than, what they should. Also, the report that the Rockets has signed Finney Smith from the Lakers to a 4-year, $53 million deal.
Yeah, they said that Finney Smith was fixing the deal.
So you got that. Jazz is finalizing a buyout with Jordan Clarkson, because I hear that he's not getting much free agency buzz around him. So you have a lot of that going on. Little other deals. Ty Jerome joining the Grizzlies on a 3-year deal. You know what I mean? Clippers retain Nicholas Batum on a 2-year deal. So you got a lot, a little bit of, just little deals just going in and out that really kind of, do they make a difference? Do the guys we're speaking about make a difference? What do they actually bring to the table? You know what I mean?
I think if the Lakers get DeAndre Ayton and are able to get another shooter or two, I think they'll be right there in the mix as well. You know what I'm saying? If they don't lose anybody else, you know what I'm saying?
Right, and with DeAndre Ayton, he is a free agent now, just recently bought out by Portland. So that I actually thinking and hoping that we, as the Celtics, look at picking him up as well, because of course we definitely need a center. Losing Porzingis, getting rid of that contract to get out of that apron. So I definitely think that makes a big deal. You also have other deals, like you had Julius Randle signing with the Timberwolves, 3-year deal worth over $100 million. Was he worth that amount? I'm gonna say no, because what did he give you this season? Fully healthy.
I can't argue with you.
Didn't give me much. You know what I mean? So I can't really say, hey, that's worth the deal. Had another quick deal. You had Lonzo Ball traded for Isaac Arroyo.
Yeah.
Makes no difference. You know what I'm saying? Right. James Harden re-signs with the Clippers, 2-year deal, $81.5 million. I think, of course, that's his last paycheck, and I definitely think that was a good move for him and also the Clippers, because what else is out there to get? Nothing's really left but Giannis and trying to see what he's going to do.
Right.
You know what I mean? So you also had a Jabari Smith 5-year deal, $122 million with the Rockets. That's just them kind of solidifying the front line of their offense with Ime grabbing Kevin Garnett and a couple of pieces they had to let go. So that's just solidifying their youth. And let's hope that Jabari Smith, War Eagle, can come, actually be worth what they're giving him. You know what I mean?
It was speculation earlier this morning. It's probably still going on the net where, Rich Paul threw out there. He threw a net out there in the ocean to see what he could catch. And it was more or less a threat. Just to see what the new management.
Talking about with LeBron?
Yeah.
Yeah, I hear it.
They were pretty much saying, like, we bought in, but, at the end of the day, we still might force a trade if y'all are trying to, actually,
go for the future.
Instead of doing it now. So it's like, what are y'all trying to do? And Brian Windhurst said something that made a lot of sense this morning. He was basically saying that at the end of the day, the Lakers usually would comment rather via text or,
some kind of statement.
Some type of statement to, say, hey, yes, we're still trying to win the championship and we would love for LeBron to stay here. But, people are speculating that they are actually thinking about shopping LeBron around. You know what I'm saying? And so now they were thinking about places that he might go and be able to fit. And it ain't but two places, in my opinion, where he can go and still be on the mission of trying to win a championship. And Golden State has the money. And I don't know how well I know he'll play well with Steph and Draymond. I don't know how well he'll play with Jimmy Butler. Because Jimmy Butler is ball dominant, you know what I'm saying? LeBron and Curry don't have to have it, but we know that at the end of the day they need it. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, but then they said something about New York. And that made sense, but the thing about it is New York got to give up too much.
Yeah, they'll have to move a lot of pieces around with what they paid Cat. Then, of course, we know Brunson did take a pay cut, but I don't think that pay cut is large enough to absorb LeBron's contract and what they have to give up, especially with what they gave up to get Mikal Bridges, 5 first-round draft picks and players. So that makes a big deal. I see him in, I've been hearing the buzz about Dallas. You know what I mean? So,
how in the hell why would he go to Dallas?
Because they're literally like that. Dallas in the West. Now I'll go out and stand on business to say I believe that OKC won't repeat as the best team in the West. I believe depending on when Kyrie can come back, and they did pick up a point guard that can kind of get them through. Because I'm hearing with Jason Kidd that they're going to put. This is what Jason Kidd said. He's looking at putting Cooper Flag at point guard.
Right.
You know what I mean? So that makes a hell of a difference. You know what I mean? With the length and what you can put on the floor with him being that point, Clay at the 2. But now what do you bring Gafford in to play the 4 with AD at the 5 and Lively at the KD at the 4. 80 at the 4 and Lively at the 5. So it definitely changed the outcome, and I definitely put them at a. Then you having D'Lo too.
You know where I love to see him at?
Well,
San Antonio.
I'm here. That's Giannis' destination. So that's what I'm big because I know Giannis been wanting to go down there with the boy, with Wemby. So it'll look good though. You know what I'm saying? I definitely think it'll look good, but I believe he need to go somewhere that has.
Because ain't Popovich still coaching, or did he?
Nah,
he
retired.
Yeah,
he gave it up.
I know LeBron wanted to play with him, but yeah.
Yeah, he gave up. He gave it up. You know, he had that. I think it was stroke or something. And then I watched the ceremony. It was Tim Duncan, Manu, and Tony Parker all walked him up to the little thing, and he basically kind of gave it over. I forgot what the new guy's name was. He gave a little speech and everything, taking over the team from him.
That's right.
So I believe that Dallas and Houston are going to be up in that top tier with OKC because, of course, they're able to keep everything. I don't think they'll lose much. So with that being said, well, it's been real interesting and a lot going on within these last couple of days. So there's definitely a lot more left to go on. So I guess since the draft has actually, cleared it out and made everything a lot more plain so people can start constructing their actual offenses. Because now New York still ain't got a coach. You know what I mean? But I heard they actually looked at Dawn Staley. It was out that they actually reached out to her to just you know what I mean, just that's monumental just by itself. To be actually reached out to because New York is the epitome of basketball next to LA, Chicago, Boston. Those are top tier, franchises and
for sure
markets. So I think that's definitely monumental for her. It's being a female and big up the Dawn Staley, and if they give it to her, I definitely pray and hope you does the best. Hey, I hate New York, but hey, I definitely be cheering for you in that part. You know what I mean? Definitely do well in that. So we'll definitely see how that goes in retrospect with that. But just to touch on a little something that we spoke on last session about the ACLs. So we had 8 ACL tears this year, 3 in the playoffs. Just a thought. I think Gilbert Arenas said this, and that's something I kind of just made sense to me. Back in the day, it was one drug test. I don't know when they changed it, but it was one drug test October the 1st. That was basically during the 80s and 90s. So all you had to do was be clean on October the 1st. You had a year to get out of whatever's in your system. Think about this, bro. We had so many players who went bald at 22, 23, 24, 25, who played 82 games, no conditioning. These cats they wasn't the ones that was in the gym. They may like in the locker, like in the weight room. You might have had 2 cats, like you might have had Karl Malone, a cat that was just big, but nobody was big weightlifters. But you had cats playing 82 games, not many ACLs, and back then an ACL tear was just my career ending. Back then, you might as well say it was a wrap because they didn't have the technology or the surgical procedures to even bring you back, with that injury. So my thoughts is, we know we had a steroid era in baseball. So what do we think about basketball, though? You know what I'm saying? With them being able to be so durable with a more physical play. That's kind of what made more sense to me, because I'm like, how are you telling me that your era was more physical, but you had less injuries? You know what I mean? So now think about it. You got 8 injuries this year that took out main cats, Dame, Haliburton, Tatum. So I'm talking about in vital places, and they all look like the same injury. Like you step back, push off, gone. You know what I mean? Well, so I guess just a thought for me is like, maybe is it some truth behind that? Because you had guys who played through so much then, but they're not able to play through it now.
But I feel, now this is just my opinion. Now I might be dead wrong, but I feel that, this is what I do. I'm into not weightlifting, but bodybuilding.
Right, no doubt.
So, like, in my opinion, back in the mid-90s, all the way back, when basketball was real physical, I really believe in my heart that they did work out more, though, when it comes to lifting weights, due to the fact that you had fewer teams that actually ran the floor. Basketball back then was predominantly
a half-court game.
You feel me?
Yeah, I agree.
Everything changed with Magic. You know what I'm saying? And people start running the floor because they had no choice. They had to keep up. It's kind of like it's kind of like Steph in the 3-pointers. You know, you're trying to keep up with the Joneses. You know what I mean? So it's like when you play a half-court game and it's physical and motherfuckers is throwing that elbow and, you know what I'm saying, hooking you and
you can hand check back
pimp
then.
slapping you when you going for a fadeaway. You know what I'm saying?
But then the defense has changed.
Knocking you out there when you going up
Oh,
for
no
a
doubt.
dunk. So I'm just saying, like, when you do certain things like that, that's, I think, is the biggest difference. Because right now, the game is about speed, agility. They running up and down the floor, throwing up alley-oops. Like, to be honest, the regular season of the NBA, other than the halfway point of the second half, ain't nothing but an all-star game.
Yeah, because, of course, you're going to get during the first part of the
every
season,
game
you
is
can
all-star.
play. Defense is a lot. Defense isn't as aggressive, of course, in the beginning of the season because
They let you get away with shit.
They let you get away with shit, but I also believe because we don't play a lot of preseason, they're still getting in shape. You know what I'm saying? That's what's also hurting us in football because our veterans and our stars don't play in the preseason. So the first 2 to 3 weeks are basically preseason games after free agency, trying to get continuity with receivers, defensive learning checks.
Sometimes it hurts, but sometimes it helps.
It can be a gift or a curse. You know, it is depending on the play.
And in all due fairness, you know, they have those joint practices more.
Yeah, they do know that.
So by
Training
them
camp.
having them joint practice training camp sessions where they'll play a different team
for a week. They'll play them a week and they'll do a scrimmage at the end of the week.
No, they'll and then they sometimes will play them in a preseason game.
Yeah, no doubt. There's still gonna be teams that show on your schedule.
You know, at the end of the day, them veterans still getting in that fire there, you know, for a short period of time. So
some of them don't even report. You know, some of them don't even report until that. See, that's the problem. You have some of them that don't report.
That ain't even trying to win. Those are the ones that trying to get paid. That's a whole different conversation.
Right.
You know
so you had like your Aaron Rodgers and stuff like that. Those cats, and then once you get up to an older, when you get to a certain age, it's just not even safe for you to participate in that type of stuff.
Since you brought his name up, what do you think about the NFL's new retirement home?
The Pittsburgh Steelers.
Right.
Now,
well, as my boy that come in the shop say, the Pittsburgh Squealers.
Now, with what they got going on, and just give everybody some context what we're speaking on. You got the taking of Aaron Rodgers, and also they just traded Mika Fitzpatrick.
And that's the thing that really was a bonehead for me.
So you got Miami Dolphins are trading Jalen Ramsey and tight end Jonnu Smith to the Pittsburgh Steelers for safety Mika Fitzpatrick and a 5th-round pick in 2027. Ramsey will receive a $1.5 million raise as a part of him bringing up to his maximum compensation up to $26.6 million. So basically, with him being traded, he was able to achieve max contract in his position.
Right. But the thing about it is, like, I'm thinking Miami got the best end of that deal because Ramsey is old, man. Yes, he's good. He's still giving you
he decent. Good. He ain't done nothing.
Right. Okay. Well, let's say that. And to be honest, I mean, he was getting burned up in LA too.
But you know, he plays
one side of the field.
He don't travel.
Right.
You know what I mean? So with him not being a traveler, he plays something similar to what Sherm played. But he likes to play a lot of man. So
he's not fast enough to play man.
Not in his career now.
And
not
he's
at this
getting toasted by people like relentlessly. And my thing is like Mika Fitzpatrick is just now like in his prime.
Right.
That's why I'm saying like he's like almost on his way out the door. You know what I'm saying?
I feel like this is like 2 years with Jalen Ramsey gone. Then you dropped him over in Miami where there's nothing. They let their running back lead.
And then think about
they
this.
They don't got no defense.
Think about this. Everywhere he has played, it's been warm, pretty, comfortable weather. Yep. And I understand he has gone into cold climate places to play. But it's a difference in playing
Yeah, he started in Jacksonville.
Every weekend that
every day. Even
up.
Practice is cold.
Where they have indoor facilities.
Now, in Pittsburgh, they still practice outside to simulate game scenario because they play outside.
Well, we got indoor facilities. We do the same thing.
Y'all do both.
We do
you know
both.
What I'm saying?
Yeah, but the thing about it is, what I'm saying is, it's still a big difference in playing every weekend. 95% of the time, he is going to be playing in the freezing cold.
Because he got it good. He had it good in the AFC South when he was in Jacksonville, because you had Jacksonville
and Miami.
And you had the cold.
The Rams, he was in the dome.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. Like everywhere. Florida State. Think about it. He's from Florida, ain't he?
Yeah.
So that's what I'm saying. Like, man, look here, man.
So it's definitely gonna be a big deal. You know what I mean?
But do you see them? Do you actually see them like making some noise? Because me personally, I think that
who making some noise? Miami?
No.
Pittsburgh?
Yes.
Before the Mika trade, honestly, I thought they would be real competitive. Even though I know they lost Najee Harris, they still had I think his name Jalen Warren. I think that's his name, number 30. So I still think they were. I don't like them getting rid of Pickens, and now you putting everything on DK with a new.
Well, they just got the receiver from Miami.
Who?
They got a receiver from Miami too, I thought.
I'm about to check that up. I don't like Aaron Rodgers. You know what I'm saying? We'll revisit, but I don't like Aaron Rodgers. He's not gave anything, even when he had the best.
They were saying today though, they're banking on this being year 2 off that Achilles tendon. So he's not moving like Aaron Rodgers of Green Bay, but he is moving way better than what he was last year. And
they say it's a year before you even strong.
And they were saying that pretty much they're not going to ask him to do too much.
He'll run the ball.
That's what they're trying to get the defense together. They're trying to re-sign T.J. Watt. He wants to retire as a
But if you get the defensive ready, why would you give away, like, I want to say, if you got T.J. Watt as 1, hell, Mika Patrick was 2. So why would you get your young in the prime Pittsburgh? You gave away your young in the prime Mika Patrick. That's
what I don't
Pro
understand.
Bowler away for an aging and ailing and unperforming Jalen Ramsey, who's dictated on the other people on the defense being good to make him look good. That don't make sense.
It doesn't.
You got rid of Najee Harris, who kept you afloat when you didn't have a quarterback, which was just diabolical.
And you didn't have an offensive line.
Then you had a dual receivers where you could have had two Lambos with Jordan Pickens and him, but you traded him away.
Top 3 teams in the AFC. Period. 1, 2, 3.
With no order, I'm always gonna put them up there. No order.
No.
KC,
No.
KC, Buffalo.
No, it got to be an order.
Lamar.
It got to be an order.
KC, Lamar, Buffalo.
That's the order.
Yeah.
Okay. What about NFC?
Philly, Washington. That third one just kind of, because it's so much lost. I would have said Detroit, but they lost so much. Nobody, the NFC to me I don't know. I can't tell you a third. Who you got as your third? Who your top 3 NFC teams? Because I got y'all, Washington. Whew, man. Shit. I can't even give you somebody I would say top. You know what I mean?
I can't even, now hear me out, D. I can't even say them, as in Washington. I really believe that a lot of quarterbacks have sophomore slumps. They have more film on him. Not saying that he's not going to play good. Not saying that they're not going to make the playoffs. But I'm thinking they're going to be more or less like wild card-ish. You know what I'm saying? Talking about Washington. But I'm saying more or less like Philly, the Rams. Then I want to say somebody like Tampa because of what all the weapons they done went to go get.
Yeah, I think Tampa did good.
And I see them winning their division, my brother. You know what I'm saying?
You know what? I'm going to take that back. Give me Philly, give me Washington, and I'm going to take a dark horse. Hey, give me the fucking Bears. It's the third team.
I just can't see the Bears beating Green Bay.
I do. I ain't going to lie. I do.
I don't trust Jordan Love, and I figure Jordan Love is the weakest link and the biggest problem when it comes to Green Bay because they tried to simplify it by running Brandon Jacobs.
They lost a lot of receivers last year.
They did, but even when they had the receivers, man, he has a problem with just going with the big play instead of just taking what the defense gives him and keeping the drive alive. That's why we were able to beat them. And if the snow didn't come, we were going to beat their ass worse. You know what I'm saying? Like,
I agree. I'm going to definitely put y'all at the top, you know what I mean? Because I feel like, y'all ran back everything.
I'm just saying in that division. You did.
But I'm going to say one thing, and I don't want to say it, bro. I really got this much optimism about the Cow Ladies. Because I do think they have added some pieces.
But see, that's why I didn't even want to say.
Just a little bit of optimism over the Cow Ladies.
But that's why I didn't want to say nothing about Washington because, once again, like I said, I believe in a sophomore slump for quarterbacks unless you're just something spectacular. You know what I'm saying? And I'd be the first one to say it. So and it's very few.
The only people that say that didn't have sophomore slumps are your top three. Will be like, wasn't no sophomore slump for Patrick Mahomes. I don't remember one for Lamar Jackson. I don't remember one for like Jared Allen. You know what I mean? Because
not Jared Allen, Josh Allen.
Josh Allen. I'm sorry. So like, C.J. Stroud had a bad year with injuries. You know what I mean?
That was part of it.
But that was just part of his slump because his weapons were low. So I'll give him a little benefit of the doubt.
That's why I said most.
It's hard to do. You know what I mean?
But like going back to what you were saying, my division. I honestly see the Cowboy girls coming in second place, then Washington.
I see Washington too.
I see them splitting, but I see Washington losing.
Do y'all play them late?
Who?
Your second game of the Cowboys? Is it late like your last year? Because I know the last year y'all played them the last game of the season.
I'm thinking it's around Thanksgiving.
Okay, so depending on how you guys fare, because I definitely believe you guys will have a higher tier, win-loss record than the Cowboys. Depending on when that game is played and where you sit at in the playoffs will dictate where that division falls. Yeah. So if you've locked it, right?
They might sit, folks.
They gonna sit, folks. You feel what I'm saying?
I know where you go.
Because you'll conceive that split or win. So if they split one, it could change the landscape on where they fall. So I do believe, you know what I mean? Because I really think it's gonna be a competitive division this season with the move. So depending on where y'all's second division game falls, will really dictate how that actual division falls.
Personally, I honestly believe, and I'm a fanatic, D, but I believe this team has the possibilities to be better than last year.
Who your Eagles?
Yes, and that's because I think the defense is going to be the same, but I think the offense will be more explosive because it ain't just going to be run. I'm looking for that balanced attack where you don't know if he's fixing to keep it. I mean, give it to Saquon, pull it, or throw it to Dallas Goedert, or play action, throw it deep to A.J. Brown. You know what I'm saying? Throw it on a post corner to Devontae. Like, hell, they said has been implemented in the offense a little bit more because of the way he played in the playoffs.
Who did?
Oh, boy, we got from the Reds, Washington Commanders, number 83.
Dotson.
Yes. So, I mean, I'm just saying, like, we have so many weapons. We are comfortable now. That was our first real year together as a complete team. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, not saying we finna beat the Dolphin record or nothing like that, but I think we ought to lose about 2, maybe 3 games. You know what I'm saying? Win the East. That's the goal, and have everybody come through the link. You know what I mean?
So, I think that, I think Kansas City would have been the most recent to return to the Super Bowl after winning it. But I think they lost it. They didn't win this. I think he won the first one, lost the second one, then they won the other 2 back to back. So they didn't back to back their first one. So I would like, to see how your season will go after winning the Super Bowl. You know what I mean? With knowing, a lot of people, kind of know, okay,
It all starts.
if we can slow down Saquon, can we beat him? You know what I'm saying?
But the thing about it is this: like, people don't give him the credit that I think he deserves as a player and a person. But Jalen Hurts, man, he's the head of that snake. You know what I'm saying? And he's so level-headed, calm, cool, and collected. I don't think he's actually gonna let people fall off. Like, I really believe that the mission is that D word that I told you long time ago. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I mean, like, they said that he's been spotted having lunches with Jordan and Derek Jeter together and separately.
Jalen?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
And it's more, and they asked him about it when his training camp started. They asked him, "Hey, man, we see you been out with Jordan. You know, is that pretty much because you part of Team Jordan and be wearing the best Jordan cleats, or is it more or less because, you know, is it something else because we've seen you out as well with Derek Jeter?" And he was like, "Yeah, man, I want to know, you know, what all it takes to you know, get that dynasty. You know what I'm saying? And what better people to talk to. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Oh, no doubt. Especially, you know, winning.
And he does have
that
that Derek Jeter attitude to me.
I like he's real reserved, real chill, calm. He gets
Can't
into
help
it. You know,
but
he gets to
like
the
that
point. And he's, you know, been through it all from the lights at Alabama. You know what I mean? And even with Oklahoma, their lights aren't as big, but it's still a high level, you know, franchise in the college football world.
Right.
On to the Philadelphia Eagles, definitely a high value franchise as well. So I still give him, he's real calm, be able to make it through the actual, you know, when adversity hits. So I just want to see if anybody tries to make him a quarterback, you know, try to completely take away Saquon and see how he reacts.
But you know what, though, D?
You know what I mean?
That's the whole beautiful thing about it. I don't think it's anybody in the actual National Football League right now whose defense is actually good enough to stop Saquon because of how lethal my offensive line. Like, I lost Mekhi Becton, but I just put in Jared Steen, you know, from Bama. And they were saying as big as Mekhi Becton is, Steen is just as big. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not losing the beat. And then Steen has playing time. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So, I mean, you know, we got the offensive line that we talked about from the Dolphins, and he was supposedly, quote-unquote, a bust because he was a high draft pick, highly sought after. They went and got him, but it's like his play wasn't as good. But
he didn't show up on the field where they put him on paper.
But what is he saying now? You know what I'm saying? Look, man, I'm glad that I'm part of the Eagles organization. The culture in itself is a complete 360 compared to what it was in Miami. You know what I'm saying?
Now, the defenses, I will say, I'm going to put up there.
In the NFL right now?
Denver.
Baltimore. Us.
I'm just saying that you will have to possibly play. You know what I mean? That can stop. We speaking on against Saquon. You know, you were just talking about against trying to stop Saquon.
Gotcha.
You know what I'm saying? We know y'all at the top. We ain't got to talk about that shit.
Oh, I just thought you were talking about defensive period. Go ahead.
Defenses in reference to trying to, like you were just saying, see who could actually stop
Understood.
them. So have Buffalo.
Wait a minute. Before you say that first team that you named, the reason why I would say I ain't studying him is because he ran for 200 on their ass and everybody played.
Okay, talking about Detroit?
No.
Denver?
No.
Who?
Baltimore.
No, that was due. The number one. Now, yeah, Baltimore, I just think they just have a spot in it. It's like, I think they're just.
They secondary and their linebackers are the truth, but they still don't have that stout defensive line like they've been having.
Yeah, they don't have a defensive line back in of the old.
I mean, you know, that's my whole point. I think that defense was built to actually stop the air raid attack of the Cincinnati Bengals, Kansas City, Buffalo,
no doubt.
Denver, Houston. But when it comes to running the ball, Baltimore is still going to have problems against stopping the run.
Yeah, Baltimore, I think, really they're kind of deficient on the run. Cowboys, same way. They're going to definitely hurt this year with the loss of DeMarcus Lawrence. I think he's over there in Seattle. That's going to definitely help them. So that's the only thing that scared me about Dallas is that they lost a lot on defense. Defensive coordinator still has been able to, do a lot with little. But when you're losing more and more, how much more can you put up?
Hey, man, don't do this now. We ain't finna go this whole segment talking about the NFL, and you not say nothing about them horseshoes.
I'm going to leave them motherfuckers where they lay.
No, man, don't do that.
Right now, bro, I'm going to be honest with you.
Tell me what you done heard. Like, what's going on up there in Indianapolis?
The only thing going to Indy, man, is just trying to figure out this quarterback situation, bro. Anthony Richardson, bro.
Who's the bad girl?
Daniel Jones.
Huh?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, so you got to go with this boy.
Bro, so it's like it's either nothing, it's like something or nothing.
But hold on now. In all fairness, what if he does take a step forward like Jalen Hurts? What if he has gotten with somebody that's like a quarterback coach and that's helping him with his reads? You know what I'm saying? Helping him decipher when it's time to run, when it's not. You know what I'm saying? Like, because I think that's his bigger problem. And we all know he didn't play that much in college. You know what I'm
he
saying?
ain't played, but
so he's basically
30-some starts since high school.
Yeah, so I think he is a project, and this is probably going to be his last year as a starter if he don't get it together.
You damn right about that one.
This coming up draft is quarterback heavy, so
so we gonna see it. But I'm gonna just say this.
You got the run game, the defense. You got everything
defense,
but the quarterback.
wide receivers. I think we're, I'm not as comfortable with my secondary, but I think we're.
Where you come in your division, in your opinion?
With a great year. Let me just give him a B+ year from Anthony Richardson. Decent health. Honestly, bro, if we play pretty good, I think we got a chance of winning it. Because we had a chance of making the playoffs last year if we had beat the Texans in the last game. We just lost. So, you know what I'm saying? That was
y'all, Tennessee, Jacksonville, and Houston, right?
Right. Houston, I'm not really afraid of them because they still going to be missing some pieces. They lost a lot in the receiver core. I'm just going to see what C.J. Stroud can do with what he got. Tennessee, you got a
But the good thing about that is he got the whole offseason with these guys.
Right. So he still got Nico. He just won't have Tank Dell. He did lost Stephon Diggs, his pieces like that. So with Tennessee, you got a rookie quarterback. That's enough said on that. Cam Ward got much love, but let's just see what you do. Jacksonville, now they do have a great nucleus because you got Sunshine, then you add Brian Thomas Jr. that was balling, and then with Travis Hunter if you put him on the other side. So they got a decent receiver core. Travis Etienne running the ball. So their offense is pretty good, not really confident on their defense because, they can give up a lot of points. With us, we just kind of had that big question mark hanging over our head with quarterback. I feel like the receiver room was great, running back room. We lost a lot on the offensive line. You know what I mean? We lost basically our best two offensive line. We lost our center and our tackle, and a guard. So we lost the biggest stalemates of our line trying to replace that back together with a decent quarterback. So depending on how it goes, because the line is so suspect, maybe the best thought is like we win the division, but just an honest thought, 2 or 3.
Now, one more question. And, we can move on. But if any team in the AFC West, if any team had an actual chance to dethrone the Kansas City Chiefs, who would you say?
Ooh, honestly, bro.
That's a hitter, by the way. Quick hitter. You know what I'm saying?
Okay, if it was anybody, I would definitely give it to the Chargers.
Okay, that's a good one.
I would go with the Chargers because I don't believe in Denver. Bo Nix, you know how I feel about you. You left Auburn to you.
Well, I mean, you must have been reading my mind because I think that Denver not only has a good defense, but I think Denver's offense is a little bit more high powered.
But they lost a running back and they're replacing him because I think he is going to Dallas.
But that's it though. You know what I'm saying? And this is the thing.
They got decent defense,
You're giving Bo Nix another year
Because he started off slow. He picked up
with Sean Payton. It's gonna get better.
I just still have all the confidence in John and Harbaugh over Payton.
Well, I think they're tit for tat. I think that the thing about it is,
I just got no faith in the Raiders.
I have no faith. Well, the thing about it is, I have no faith in the Chargers quarterback. See, it's gonna come a point in time where they're gonna come across a team that's gonna say, you know what, we finna start the run and we finna see how good you gonna play for.
Yo, now he just suckered up. Now Justin Herbert, I call him Justin Sherbert.
I mean, cause he gonna nut up.
He will get soft and pillowy on you in the time. So I will say
Pillow
that.
talk.
But as long as they can keep the
so it's like you stop Najee in the run game. You know what I'm saying? You play man to man on the outside and you put pressure on Herbert. You know what I'm saying? At the same time as stopping the run, like he's gonna nut up.
So if I gave you my threat would be Chargers first, Broncos second, Raiders third.
I say Broncos first because, see, like I said, I got more favor in Bo Nix. He's a gunslinger, and he very rarely makes the mistakes that Herbert makes. Now, Herbert has been in the league longer. You know what I'm saying? He's a seasoned vet. He shouldn't be doing the shit that he's doing now. He has good wide receivers. He has a coach that has come in here, simplified the game, and said, look, we're finna just maul folk. We're going to run the ball, play action, simplify for everybody. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And he still can't get right. So you know.
We'll see. So it's going to be definitely something to see.
That's right.
We'll see.
I'm excited, man.
Oh, definitely, man. We got.
I told you I've
9, including if we take off this Sunday, we have 9 Sundays left before NFL.
Right.
So we got a little bit of time. You know what I'm saying? So
we got less than that.
No, 9 Sundays before the first inaugural game.
Right.
For the first game of the season. But I think the Hall of Fame game was about
3 weeks.
About 3 weeks.
Yeah, about 3 weeks.
So we got a little time. So we'll definitely see. There's a lot of more things to be done. A lot of things to be said. So we'll see how it goes.
That's right.
Moving on. Jump over into this college football a little bit.
I
just want to bring up this one part that we said, and I was thinking about this, and I was telling you about the college football that's coming out. And I'm gonna put the breakdown. I'm gonna find the breakdown, and I'm gonna get the breakdown put in here on how it broke down. So it's broken down to where if you play with a team, the more that this team is played with on the game,
they get some money.
They get money. It's a 1% tariff. Well, 1% percentage in which they'll get. So I think they broke it down was like if you pay a certain million, you don't have to be in the millions. Because I think last year Bama was one of the most played with teams. So I think they said in the first maybe week it was about 3 million games played with Bama. So they would have got like I think 30,000 for something like that. So and that's per day. You know what I mean? So depending on, so you could actually turn a college around. So if the public decides to say, all right, we're gonna play with Alabama A&M, and we're gonna always play with them. We're gonna play. All you gotta do is if everybody who got the game play a game with them one time a day, you can get $10 million. So you can start turning revenue over for smaller schools. So
I wasn't gonna get the game because, like I said, I'm just a straight Madden fan. I got ADHD where I kind of get like, okay, that's enough. I done played the season, won that championship. Fuck it, you know what I'm saying? But NFL is kind of different for me. You dig what I'm saying? So, but I'm gonna get it because of that. You know what I'm saying? I play with different teams. You know what I'm saying? If it's like the playoff, I don't mind losing. If I were to play against Alabama and I'm playing with somebody else from another conference, I just let it simulate. If I win, I win, but I'm not finna just play against Bama. You know how I am. But
I do it all the time.
I'm going to get this game, and I'm going to play with Alabama A&M. And I feel that, I'm saying this out of love, like I feel that everybody
should play with some
should play with a HBCU or any smaller school like a Jacksonville State
or
Troy,
UAB, any team that
UAB.
don't have a large, NIL budget.
Right.
Because it goes straight to their NIL.
Because Alabama and Auburn, the big Power Five.
LSU, Texas, they got money.
Man, fuck them. They gonna get their money anyway. You know what I'm saying?
So
Let's just
public,
be real.
chat, my followers, everybody, go to your social media page, put that down and let everybody know that your schools get paid, that they play with. Post your school and get your school games. And if you go out and buy the game. Just buy the regular version.
That's right.
Commit to play one game with your school per day, which is not long. You can put it on a 2-minute. You can put it on a 3-minute game. It don't have to be a 20-minute
Y'all
game.
already know how it goes. You
Run
can
a game with your people and
you
get
can
some
have
money.
2 different seasons going at one
Bro,
time.
I got 4. I got an Auburn
Right.
season. I had an Ohio State season. I had a Georgia season, and I think I did an Oregon season. But what I liked is that one of my partners, we did a SEC season with multiple teams. So it's like it was 7 of us. So all of us picked the SEC team. So you only can pick ACC teams.
Right.
And, we just build it from there, and we play every week. You know what I mean? So this year, we're going to do any team, but we're going to put them in the SEC, but you only can get a B+ team or lower. You can't just go and get the best team because it's only going to be about 3 or 4 teams that got an A+. So I think Texas is the most high. I think they're the highest rated, and other things like that is fall so and so behind that. So we'll get just a B+ team or better and go from there. So that's what we're doing this year. So we still actually playing seasons right now, trying to get one more season through as we speak. Right. So, it's definitely going to be something that I feel like going to, affect some schools. So, yeah, man. So, yeah, go down there. Like I said, put your favorite school in there, man. Put your favorite school in there. I'll go in there and play a game with it when it hit. So, the game drops, I think, on the 10th. But you do a pre-order and buy the deluxe version, you get it 3 years early. Now, when I did mine was telling me I'm going to get it on the 5th. So, that's Saturday. So, I don't know. But I have my date set in the Netherlands. So it'll actually come early because they actually, the time turns over faster than ours. So that's how I got mine set. So definitely go out there, play with your team. Let's get some money for them and, things like that. Outside of that, let's make a jump over one more thing. Did you watch any of the boxing we had this weekend?
No, I did not. I missed the boxing and MMA.
Okay. Now, I didn't watch the MMA. Now, I did catch the boxing. Okay. Deontay Wilder. Let me talk to you.
I saw he won.
Let me talk to you.
TKO. But
Bro.
I didn't see it.
Bro, that was the most unentertaining shit I have watched in a long time. Deontay Wilder, man, I got much love for you, bro. Alabama.
I no secret.
But, bro, don't do nothing else. Just stay where you at. Don't call out Joshua.
Look, man,
don't call out nobody else.
I'm not gonna say
shit.
I'm not gonna say don't do it.
Don't do it.
I'm gonna say this. If you're gonna do it right. If you're gonna do it, go all out. Because right now it's looking like you're just climbing in there for the cheese.
Bro,
it's like
he came out to
you're not even, working out, getting yourself together.
He looked in shape. Now, I will say this because
it's
physically in shape because the other guy, he was basically taking knees, kept going to his knee. That's how they end up basically calling the fight because because Dante was so taller than he was. He was scared of his reach. So he kept dropping down. So about 2 or 3 knockdowns he got was just going to a knee. Because your glove can't touch the match. Go to the knee, glove touch the match, that's a knockdown. That's how the fight ended up stopping because he just wasn't fucking doing shit.
all right.
You know what I'm saying? So, Dante, bro, I ain't got nothing against you, but bro, man, get it together or get away from it. And Jake Paul, bro, I watched that fight. Julio Chavez Jr., bro, he literally did not throw a punch in the first, I want to say 3 rounds. I know they say he didn't throw it in the first round. Now, toward because they didn't fight but 10 rounds.
Right.
Toward 8 round, 8, 9, dude was tapping on his ass. Right. But I feel like Jake Paul's career basically has been full of just fights, bro. Because, they say they're going to rank him. I think it's WBA. I don't think it's WBC, but I think WBA one of those lower. They said if he won this fight that they would rank him.
Well,
what do you think about him being a ranked boxer?
Well, that means, that's technically what we all wanted, though, right? Because he's been fighting people that we know that he has a big chance of beating. So,
this dude with the same thing.
So, no, but if he's actually going up against professional boxers that have a card, you know what I'm saying? Like, they might not be on the level of Crawford or anybody, Canelo or something like that, but he should be fighting better competition instead of fighting people that are old has-beens, basketball players who think they got hands. Like, he's not fighting people that are actually, like, yeah, we all got excited about Mike Tyson, of course,
but they ain't let Tyson fight that man.
They didn't let it happen.
Hell no.
Because Mike would have probably hurt that man.
He would have killed that dude.
Now
bro.
they're saying, okay, we're gonna let you box, but we're gonna let you box people that are on your level, maybe a little bit more seasoned, just to see what you do. Then we'll let you move up. You know what I'm saying? That's all that is.
Yeah, because he was looking terrible, bro. Like, absolutely ridiculously terrible. So it's something that I'm glad I didn't watch and I didn't have to pay for. You know what I'm saying? So
he's not a boxer. He just has that one hit quitter. Like, he's a white Deontay Wilder, in my opinion. You know what I'm saying? Like, he can take a lick just like Deontay.
Can he though? Because I don't think he's really. Like, I think Chavez got a couple in him, like 8th, 9th round. Because those are the only rounds I really think he actually was hitting him and stuff. So he got some good rounds on him, like 8 and 9, a little bit into 10. But by then, he had already won the fight. Only way he was gonna beat him was knock him down, but knock him out. And I didn't see him having that power at all.
That's right.
So that's my only thing is that I still don't respect him as a boxer. You know what I mean? I still don't feel like he fought someone who's like the dude he fought Julio Cesar. He's out of jail. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? He just been suspended for 2 years. So we talking about a cat that hadn't even boxed in 2 years. So, what are we talking about? You know what I'm saying? So that's the only thing I was like, I won't give him too much credit in reference to that one fight. But, he still got a lot more left that he's going to have to do to say, I'm a boxer. You know what I'm saying? So that's the only thing about it. So did you watch any wrestling? I know they had the Night of Champions. So what now? I know you got something.
Everything went down the way that I expected it to go down. Jade Cargill won Queen of the Ring. Cody Rhodes beat Randy Orton. He's king. So both of them get a shot SummerSlam for their respectable belts. You know what I'm saying? Women's and men world heavyweight. Or WWE champion, whichever one they decide. The biggest thing for me, one of my favorite wrestlers lost his belt.
Who?
I like Jacob Fatu.
Okay.
He's one of Roman Reigns and The Rock's cousins.
So I was watching some real quick. I popped in on it when he was in the ring and somebody had to come down there. Who was the guy with the blonde fro, had on like a white suit? Cleo, start with a C.
Oh yeah, he's another guy that's part of the.
They had a little something going on, and somebody had to come and save.
So
one of the Uso brothers was fighting. The Uso brother lost.
You talking about Friday night?
Yeah. That's why I said I think I popped. Yeah, that was
Friday night.
Right.
Friday night.
And then the dude came in.
His name.
The other dude had to come down there to kick
JC
the dude.
was actually fighting Jimmy Uso.
Right, because he beat him.
The guy on the outside of the ring with the mohawk.
Yeah, with the suit.
Is Jimmy's brother.
So who came in with the gold teeth from the back?
The gold teeth?
Yeah, you know what I'm talking about, who ran
That's
on the
the
back.
guy that I like, Jacob Fatu.
Okay.
They call him the Samoan werewolf.
Okay.
He's a cousin as well. I honestly think, now I might have this wrong, and if I say it wrong, I'm sorry, but I think
help us, Chad.
I think that's Umaga's son.
Okay, he looked like him too. He looked like him because he had that hair.
It's 3 of them.
Yeah, he looked like
another one, but Monday Night Raw is tonight, and Roman Reigns is supposed to come back, and they're lining it up where it's gonna be like a bloodline civil war, and you're gonna have so many from the new bloodline, so many from the old bloodline, and they're gonna, duke it out. Roman Reigns is pretty much coming back, trying to take over the bloodline, put it back in order, and then claim his belt.
Tribal chief.
Yeah. Oh, hey, the GOAT, in my opinion. John Cena done had the belt the most, but in today's competition, no one has had it longer than Roman Reigns.
Okay, so let me ask you this. Let's just talk about wrestling in life. If you take this sucker back to the WWE.
No, F. It's E now.
Yeah, let's take it to WWF.
Gotcha. I'm with you.
Who is your favorite, most underrated character?
Going back
from any character, like who he was big, but really wasn't as big as maybe you would have wanted to be, but he was one of your favorite characters. Mine was Raymond.
The bad guy.
You know what I'm saying?
Machismo.
He comes through.
Yeah, I like.
You know what I'm saying? I like that. Now that was my dude. You know what I'm saying? Razor Ramon.
Yeah,
that was my number one. If I say anybody like that, and my all-time tag team favorite, Animal and Hawk.
Bro, that's most people.
Or Demolition. You know what I'm saying?
I didn't like Demolition.
I love Demolition. You know what I'm saying?
But
Action Smash.
Underrated superstar. Ricky the Dragon Steamboat.
Ricky Steamboat, okay.
He was a very hard nosed.
Steamboat was big in the late 80s, early 90s, bro. Like with the emergence of WWE.
Ricky the Dragon Steamboat was a very good wrestler that I think was in the shadows of others like Sting and Ric Flair, Dusty Rhodes.
But that because your boy, Hulk Hogan ran everything. Also, just dumb on the man because he was. If you go back and look,
Hulk Hogan didn't run everything.
If you go back and look, I've been watching a lot of documentaries. Hulk Hogan. The reason why Hulk Hogan had the belt the longest because he literally had creative control over matches on how they went.
He didn't have it the longest.
I'm not saying he had the longest. I'm saying because of how the reason why he had it so long.
He
was
had the most defined and popularity.
He had creative control. Like when you have creative control, you say who win and lose matches. Right. That's why he didn't lose.
Right.
You know what I mean? So,
but that was the way. That was the way he was raised.
Yeah, that's Vince McMahon shit.
No, that was the way that the daddy did it. Not Vince McMahon, but the daddy. See, he didn't know that he was going to win the belt until Andre the Giant jumped up in the air for him to slam him. Because, he always slammed people and then did the leg drop 1, 2, 3.
Right.
So he didn't think Andre was going to allow him to pick him up. He thought it was going to be one of them things where, he's supposed to act like his back is too hurt, blah, blah, blah. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, yeah.
So, back then, you're right. But when going back to what you were saying, tag team, the Road Warriors are one of my favorites. You know what I'm saying? But since you have already named the Road Warriors, I'm going to go a different route.
Who? I just like the Rockers. Heart Foundation. You know what I'm saying? Like DX.
But see, I can go so far back. I can go back to the Midnight Express.
Yeah, that's it.
The Four Horsemen.
The Rockers, that was the Rockers that made the Express is kind of like the.
But,
you know what I'm saying?
I guess I have to say the Steiner brothers because of the new moves, the reinvent. They reinvented a lot of high impact power moves, suplexing off the top rope, the Steiner
power
recline,
power
and all that. Yeah, so
Steiner line.
Yeah, so
No doubt.
yeah.
But unfortunately, ladies and gentlemen, we have come to another end of an episode of Cutting Up. And like we always say, like, share, subscribe, and cut those notifications on so you'll know when we are about to cut up. If you got any questions or any you guys, your favorite wrestlers, your favorite state, tag team, put them in the chat. Let us know how it go. And you got any tough topics that you want us to hit on, anything that we didn't hit, that we should have hit, that you felt like we ain't talked shit about, let us know.
That's right.
We'll put it on the docket and see what we got for you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So, Tommy Rowe, you got anything else, my boy?
One thing I want to say before we go, I want to give a shout out and prayers up to Ronnie Coleman.
What's going on, Ronnie?
I just saw while I was sitting waiting on you that he was having like serious medical problems.
I'm gonna tell you, really, who on life support right now?
Who that?
Hulk Hogan. They say he having heart problems. They say he was having an issue with his heart, and he had to get a valve.
Too much steroids.
So they gave him a new valve, but the heart is rejecting the valve.
Right.
So I actually saw that yesterday. Wow. So that was one of my wrestling heroes. Even though I heard I know you. But I digress.
Yeah, talking about
yeah.
You somebody else. Why?
Yeah. And you.
Yeah, I wanna.
Yeah, bro.
I wanna. Real talk. I wanna send out. You know what I'm saying? A big shout out to the Ronnie Coleman and his family. Ronnie Coleman is one of the people that I actually look up to. I watch a couple of his videos a day, you know what I'm saying, to motivate me to go to the gym. Like, I know I'm not lifting nowhere near the weights that he did and does, but it's just the fact of the matter. It's just motivation to know that if he can do it, it can be done, So I don't know what's actually wrong, but you are in my prayers, brother.
Most definitely. So we definitely, big prayers out to Ronnie Coleman, one of the innovators in
the GOAT
in weightlifting and bodybuilding and stuff like that. Definitely put him up there. So 100. But as we say, we come to the end of another episode, ladies and gentlemen. And like we say again, like, share, subscribe, cut your notifications on, and so we're cutting up. And until the next time, keep your nose clean, my people. 100.
Peace.
Hey.